Good morning, advanced biology class. The purpose of this video is just to make every single thing that you're supposed to be doing today and the overall collection of resources that you're using to do this clear to you. Okay. But first of all, today, you're going to add the purpose to the introduction of the lab report. Now, where are you going to find this? Well, the purpose, as always, is stated in the lab materials in your lab booklet, and in this case it is page 42. That's where you're going to find that. All right, number 2, you're going to add a hypothesis to the introduction. That's going to require a little bit of workshopping, which I'm going to do with you in this video. Okay, number 3, you're going to add ways that we are emulating certain behaviors of the mother quail and which devices emulate those behaviors to the introduction of your lab report. So that is going to help you come up with a hypothesis. It is also going to help you describe what each piece of equipment's purpose is. Okay, so the incubator, all right, has a couple of things in it. On the bottom is a water tray. If you go ahead and read my methods, you'll see that, okay? In the water tray, we add water. Now, the surface area of that water and the fact that the incubator is being heated, okay, causes water to evaporate into the incubator and increases the humidity of the inside of the incubator, okay? Now, the humidity is supposed to emulate the fact that the mother quail is often sitting on these eggs. And when she sits on these eggs, she kind of like really sits on them, okay, and keeps the area around the eggs a little bit more humid than the area in the rest of the air of the world, okay? And secondly, the mother quail sitting on the eggs also causes the eggs to have a temperature pretty close to her warm little cloaca down there, okay? So we're trying to keep the temperature of the incubator around 99.75 degrees Fahrenheit, and we are attempting to keep the humidity at 50%, although that has actually been problematic this year, and I'm not really sure why, okay? Now, right before hatch, we're going to kick up the humidity because right before hatch, the mother quail all of a sudden becomes diligent in her sitting behaviors between days 21 and 24. And not only that, she doesn't mess with them very much. Now, the other thing that the mother quail is going to do when she's incubating the eggs is she's going to occasionally turn them. So a different side of the egg is warmer or closer to her than another side of the egg. That is why we have an egg turner inside of the incubator. So the water tray emulates the humidity of the mother's cloaca. The thermostat and heater, as well as the fan that blows heat, emulates the warmth underneath the mother, okay? And then the egg turner emulates the behavior that the mother does when she periodically turns the eggs to keep different sides of it warm and also to keep the embryo from sticking to the surface of the egg. Okay, now, here's what's interesting about bobwhite quail mothers. They're not very diligent with their egg-sitting behaviors, okay? So in some sense, the incubator is an improvement over the mother quail's behavior. And in addition to this, the hatch rate of bobwhite quails is about 75%. Okay, so that's important information. About 75% of a mother hen's fertilized eggs are actually going to go all the way to hatch successfully. All right. That's going to help you there. Now, you're also going to copy my methods. All right, this means I want you to just straight copy it with the figures and everything because this year, obviously, we're doing the lab virtually. All right, now finally, you're going to add drawings in data tables to the lab report. Okay, now let me show you what I mean. Okay, so one of the things I'll be doing, because you're supposed to read the methods you copy, is we're going to be doing candling virtually. Now, during candling, since you're going to go into that Google sheet that I shared with you and choose an egg number that is all your own, because they sent us twice as many eggs as they should have. Everybody gets their own egg, though I still want you to be partners with each other and exchange phone information and like enjoy the the funness of interacting on this, okay? So every candling day, I'm gonna send a photo of yours and your partner's egg to each of you, and you're gonna have a table like this, okay? And at a certain point, we'll determine if your egg is viable or non-viable, and you're gonna add photos of your eggs on each of the 3 candling days that we're gonna do, which is once a week, okay? I'm also gonna give you notes, and if I can, I'm gonna take video if the embryo is moving. So this shows you kind of how you're gonna lay that table out. You're gonna add images in as we go. Now, I shared with you a document that has photographs of all the slides that we're using to understand vertebrate development. Now, each of these needs to be drawn and labeled in a data table. I gave you, here on page 44 of the lab booklet, examples of what your tables might look like. You might have, you would draw, starting at a fertilized egg, right? You would draw the different stages of development in a couple. Actually, this year it's going to be 4 tables, okay? And then you're going to label them. Now, at the end of this document, I put my own watercolors and drawings of development that are fully labeled to help you identify the features in these slides that I took pictures of. And what's great is because these are digital, you can blow them up and stuff and really get a good drawing there, okay? So that's gonna be the first sort of things you're gonna put in your data section of your lab report. And these are of course just models, though you have access to all of these. All right, so now let's talk about the hypothesis. So the incubator is a bit more consistent than the behavior of the mother quail, at least up until the end of fertilization. That being said, we are going to be doing things like candling the eggs, which 44 eggs this year is, and since you're not doing it, I don't know, that's going to take me probably 4 hours to do. What you want to do here is you want to make a prediction. Either we're going to be able to be more successful than a mother hen, or we're going to be less successful than a mother hen. Okay. So there are some conditions. So if we keep the temperature of the incubator around 99.75 degrees Fahrenheit, and the humidity between 30 and 75%, we should achieve I can't spell, you all know that, a hatch rate. Now here's where you're going to make a decision. You're either going to say lower than or higher than 75%. All right, now I want you to justify your answer. I gave you information, right? So either if you say higher than, you're probably going to talk about how using an incubator is more consistent than the behavior of a mother quail. If you're going to say lower than, you're going to say, you know, this machine can't possibly replace the behavior of a mother quail, or something like, you know, the mother quail's inconsistency even is a behavior that has evolved and caused successful hatching. But either way, you're going to support this either lower than or higher than hatch rate idea, okay? And then you're going to say what we're going to measure. So if I am correct, the percent of viable hatched chicks will be greater than or, right, or less than, and then you're going to put your 75% there. Cool. That is your hypothesis. Have fun and come to office hours if you need any help.